Following yesterday's apparent assassination attempt of Donald Trump, the suspect was arrested in Martin County. Yeah, it's currently happening right now. Let's listen in.
Which contains information that a suspect had just been involved in an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. They gave us a vehicle description and a tag number. And so we immediately deployed out to the interstate because the information was that the suspect was possibly headed north on I-95. So every available unit obviously went out, covered every exit. We were from the mile marker at the county line between Palm Beach County and Martin, and then St. Lucie County line. One of my road patrol deputies, very alertly, even though it was weekend traffic, I-95, saw the vehicle and called it out. You know, we have a thing here, Martin County hashtag wrong exit. We don't let cars get out of here, but we also don't do traffic stops until we're ready. So we followed the vehicle till my big pickup.
What's up, family? What's good? What's good? As some of you, well, I'm gonna say a lot of people already know that Donald Trump has faced a second assassination attempt. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. This proves that they don't want this man in office. And quite frankly, I think this is gonna, and I'm sure some of you will agree with me on this. I think this will even give him even more votes. So this just increased his voter base. Basically, you know what I'm saying? He's pretty much guaranteed the White House after this. But this is his second assassination attempt. Second. Clearly they don't want this man in office. You know what I'm saying? Clearly they don't want this man in office because number one, they feel they can't control him. So they would rather have somebody like Kamala Harris in office, somebody that's controllable and, you know, somebody that's a puppet. Somebody that's going to carry out their agenda, and they feel that they can carry out their agenda with Kamala Harris or any Democrat for that matter. And I'm not saying Republicans are better. I'm not saying that, but Trump is pretty much from what I see, he's pretty much his own man. He's not toting the line. So yeah, they gotta keep that man out of the White House. Clearly, they don't want him in. Second assassination attempt. Think about that. And like I said earlier, he's just gonna get more votes. The man is guaranteed the presidency, man. After this, guaranteed.
Got on location, and with those big front end bumpers, they maneuvered that vehicle to a stop, so there was no chase. Then they effected what we call a felony stop. They called the suspect out. He came back and he was handcuffed, and we contained him there until the arrival of the federal authorities. The Secret Service was there very fast, and then the FBI did show up a short time later. We turned the suspect.
Man, look at this dude. Typical far left liberal looking cat. Pink shirt on, skinny. I mean, that's how they look. You see that all day in California. You see dudes looking like him all day. Typical liberal looking dude.
Over to the FBI and reopened the interstate. The interstate was shut down, northbound, southbound. St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office deployed their bomb detection dog. We had to make sure. And we didn't take any statements from the suspect. We didn't recover any evidence. We turned the car and the suspect over to the federal authorities. So I'm going to stop. Open questions. I know, Will, you have questions, but I'm going to let you go last because they're running tape, but I'm going to answer every question you have.
Sir, what was his reaction when you took him into custody? Did he say anything in that moment?
Yeah. What was his reaction? I was able to get to the scene shortly after the stop, and I saw him in the car. His facial affect was very bland. He was not emoting any emotions at all. He made no statements. And of course, right at first, we didn't know 100%. We knew we had the vehicle, but what we didn't know is, did the witness have it right and pick out the right vehicle? But as I watched him and realized he was not asking any questions, like, what's going on? There's cops everywhere. There's men with rifles. There's a helicopter. I-95 is shut down. Why no questions? And I looked at him. I thought, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy they're looking for. And sure enough, it was.
There was a witness flown here. Can you tell us about that?
There was a witness
Flown by aircraft, the helicopter.
Yeah, the witness from the incident at Trump International was flown to the scene by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, and he was able to make a positive ID. So, of course, then we knew we had the right suspect.
And he was not armed.
Yeah, if I was Trump, man, I wouldn't even trust the Secret Service, man. Honestly, at this point, this time and age, I wouldn't even trust the Secret Service, man. I would get my own private security. Real talk. You know, I'm not saying he shouldn't use them, but I don't know who's to say that they're not in on it. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say the Secret Service isn't in on it? I mean, the last assassination attempt, I don't know how this dude ended up on the roof with a long barrel gun rifle. Never have you heard of anything like that happening. You know, back when I was growing up as a kid. You never heard of nothing like that. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would have a hard time trusting Secret Service. I would have a hard time trusting. Then they talking about the FBI is going to investigate. Well, who's to say they ain't in on it? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. FBI, CIA, Deep State, all of them have been behind all type of assassinations. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot trust any of these alphabet organizations or whatever you want to call them. You can't trust any of them. CIA, FBI. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. These are the same people that took out Malcolm X, took out JFK. CIA, FBI, all of them, was all in on all of that. So, I don't know, man. Trump just gone, man. And I'm not sitting here saying that Trump's a perfect dude, but clearly, clearly, they don't want this man in the White House. You got to ask yourself, well, damn, why is that? Why don't they want this guy in office? Well, it's because he's not playing along with their game. He's gonna do what he do. Trump gonna do what he do. So they can't have that. You know, he talked about cutting taxes, building the middle class. He talks about all of that, closing the borders. The Democrat, the deep state, and all of them, they are 100% for open borders. They're 100% eliminating the middle class and high taxes. You know what I'm saying? Mainly talking about the Democrats. They're for everything that uh, it seems that Trump is against. So it's crazy, man. We living in some crazy, crazy, crazy times, and it's just gonna get worse before it gets better. It will get worse, but yeah, this assassination, all this, all that has done was just increased his voter base, man. He's gonna get a lot more votes now. They're gonna look at that and be like, well, damn, okay, they why are they trying to keep him from getting in the White House? Maybe I better vote for him. Maybe there's a reason why I should vote for him. So Trump gonna get a lot more votes, man, after this. Kamala Harris's campaign is going down in flames. She's not up in the polls. She's not winning. Complete total lies in the mainstream media. No, that woman is down in the polls. There is no closeness. There is no she's ahead by a couple of points. Nah, she's doing bad. She's way down in the polls. The real polls. You got a lot of fake polls out there that's saying that it's dead even. Complete total false. Complete total lies. She is trailing behind in the real accurate polls. But anyway, I didn't mean to talk this much, but let's continue. Shall we?
When you took him into custody,
He was not armed when we got him out of the car. We didn't search the car. We waited till the FBI got there, and then we used our flatbed. Traffic was horrible out there, you can imagine. We had our flatbed sheriff's office wrecker, put the vehicle up and take it down to wherever they wanted it in Palm Beach County.
Sheriff, you guys have repeatedly touted that the South Florida Task Force operates on communication between counties. This was the biggest test of that communication. Kind of talk about how that led up to this.
Well, preparation is always the key. We have worked so closely with Sheriff Bradshaw and his people over the years. We have a task force. We're all together. So it was really a seamless handoff of the information. And that was critical. They knew the vehicle they were looking for. Had they not gotten it to us quickly, we would have missed that car. And had we not had all the experience we have, because we invariably are stopping high-profile felony cars coming out of Palm Beach, coming out of Broward County. We're used to that. This is nothing new to us. So the preparation, the large trucks, the takedown mannerisms that we use really worked out, because had that subject had the opportunity to chase, had we just turned on blue lights.
All right, so there you have that. Now, peep game. We have another Democrat from California, senator. She is leaving the Democrat Party and now is switching over to the Republican Party. So you're starting to see a lot more of this happen. You know what I'm saying? Started with Chelsea Galber. Got how to pronounce her name. But anyway, you starting to see a lot of these Democrats fleeing the Democrat Party, man. I honestly don't think the Democrat Party is going to be around. I think eventually it's just going to be obsolete, to where they just going to have to change their whole name. You know what I'm saying? Because you're starting to see a lot of this, man. You're starting to see a lot of people switch to the independent, or they going to the Republican Party. They're fleeing from the Democrat Party. And I mean, I can't blame them. The Democrats have gone so far right. I mean, so far left, man, to where they want to take your kid from you in school, because you don't want to go along with them getting transgender surgery or some crap. I mean, just way left field stuff that shouldn't even it shouldn't even be discussed, man. Then they're extremely into high taxes. They tax you like crazy. Totally into that. Open borders, they into all of that. They into it. I don't know what to say. Like I said, man, I think the Democrat Party is just crumbling. I think it's going to be a party that's going to be non-existent. It's going to be extinct because they don't want to change, and as a result of that, you got people fleeing from the Democrat Party, and like some you've never seen before. And trust me, this lady ain't gonna be the only one. It's gonna be a lot of others that are gonna be leaving the Democrats. And this is California. You know, we just had a mayor just leave California because he said he just couldn't take the policies that are going on in California. He got the hell up out of California. So even people in California are starting to wake up. That's how bad things are. That's how bad things have gotten. I mean, whoever would have thought that would happen?
California State Senator Marie Alvarado Gil switched parties. She's going from the Democratic majority to the Republican minority. With her move, there are now 31 Democrats in California State Senate and 9 Republicans. That means Democrats do retain their supermajority. Here's a look at her district. It includes the Sierra and Central Valley. For years, this district has mostly voted for Republicans, but supported Alvarado Gil as a Democrat when she ran in 2022. Senator Marie Alvarado Gil is here with us on The Issue Is for her first interview since making the switch. Thanks so much for being here.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So why switch from Democrat to Republican?
Well, first and foremost, it was the right thing to do. I've been a Democrat my whole adult life. My first vote as an 18-year-old new voter was as a Democrat. And I'll just tell you, Alec, the Democratic Party of today is not the Democratic Party that I signed up with as a new voter. It has changed. The pendulum has swung so far to the left that it has disengaged from what true Californians value, our middle class values, our families, our diversity in California. And frankly, I just could not support an ideology.
Ooh, man, I think California's middle class is damn near obsolete. California's done a major job on its middle class, destroyed the middle class big time. Big time. I mean, you can't even afford to buy a house out here, man, in California. You know, it's crazy.
Over the will of the people.
So why did you become a Democrat in the first place?
Yeah, well, I took a civics class, just like many of our seniors, and I was listening to my duty as a U.S. citizen to be able to vote and express my voice, and I was inspired. I was inspired by having an impact in my local community and statewide.
So what was the moment where you decided, I can't do this anymore, I need to be a Republican?
That's right. So, this is not a decision that I took lightly. This is definitely something that I reflected on and I prayed on. And the reality is this: in California, we have seen the pendulum swing so far in the areas of crime, homelessness, and for so long in public education. So before coming into office, I was an educator in charter schools, and I selected that path because I knew that we were leaving.
Yeah, it's so bad in California, man. That is, you have to be out here or live out here to really see how bad it really is, man. I mean, of course, if you're an outsider, you don't live in California. Some of you might think, that this stuff is exaggerated. No, it's bad out here, man. Crime has since Biden and Kamala Harris has gotten in office, crime has skyrocketed in California. You got these smash and grabs that went on all throughout the state of California. It's crazy, man. And quite honestly, man, it feels good to see Californians finally waking up, man. Finally, saying, you know what? Enough is enough. We need something different. You know what I'm saying? And me being a Californian, born and raised in California, it kind of when you've grown up in California and you've seen how California used to be to how it is now, it kind of angers you and saddens you at the same time. It's like, damn, it's kind of like watching an old friend just go left field and just, he was a good person, and then he just goes left field and just starts just going into crime, getting into drugs, and stuff like that. I kind of compare it to that, if that makes sense. So me being in California most of my life and seeing where it was to where it's become, yeah, it kind of messes you up, man. It kind of angers you, and at the same time, it kind of saddens you. But good thing about it is, man, people out in Cali are finally starting to push back, finally waking up. So that's good. That's good. You know what I'm saying? That's a damn good sign. Like once I said, it's bad if people in California are if people in Cali are starting to complain, it's bad. So
Too many kids behind here in California. We have succumbed to a public education system that it is okay where kids don't read and write by third grade, that we have to actually have statewide goals. We have not made even a dent in public education to say that we can even be in the top 10 of the US. Now, for me, it really is about looking at where we are right now. The supermajority has the power in both the executive branch and the legislature. But what I'm missing is that will to change, that will to ensure that Californians across our state are taken care of.
There clearly are.
hey, you notice they didn't even put this on mainstream media. This woman switching over to the Republican Party. Notice I had to go to this is an independent site. Yeah. Or yeah, but you didn't even see this in mainstream media. They stuff like this they try to hide and keep hidden. But you can only do so much hiding.
Many of your constituents who voted for you as a Democrat. They're
That's right.
expecting you to serve out your term as a Democrat. What do you say to them?
Well, my constituents, first and foremost, were part of this decision that I made. I've been listening to them for the past 2 years, serving my district that is predominantly a Republican district. I've been serving as a representative of the values of our district and a representative of what means the most to our constituents, whether they're Democrat.
All right, so uh here's another Democrat getting ready to switch parties, getting ready to now I don't know if this guy's going to the Independent Party or the Republican Party, but he's a Democrat and he's also leaving the Democrat Party. I've seen this guy before. I don't know a whole lot about him. Some of you guys might know who he is, but yo, peep this out.
Were you happy with how everything transpired?
I was so unhappy. It was the most anti-Jewish, anti-Israel, anti-Zionist convention I have experienced, and I have been watching conventions since 1952 when Adlai Stevenson. Let me tell you why this was the worst convention in history.
Well, I don't support the Zionists. That's for damn sure. But hey, everybody have their reasons. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
American history. They had more anti-Jewish, anti-Zionist people who were speaking, starting with AOC, miserable anti-Zionist bigot. Then, of course, they had Liz Warren, who was one of the most anti-Jewish people in the Senate. Then they had Bernie Sanders, one of the most anti-Jewish people in the Senate. Then to top it off, they have one of the worst anti-Semites in modern American history last night at the convention. And more and more and more now.
Who was that person that they had that number 4
on CNBC, whatever his name is, Sharpton, Reverend Sharpton. You know, the guy who provoked the pogrom in Crown Heights after that tragic accidental killing of that young man.
Gavin Cato.
And, you know, so here's the way the Democrats figured it out. They're not going to let these anti-Semites and anti-Zionists speak about Israel. And they didn't. You know, they all did the pablum about Israel. Oh, we support a ceasefire and we support a return of the hostages. But they instructed them not to talk about Israel. But by giving them platforms.
Okay, I'm not necessarily a fan of this dude. You know, I don't follow him. But my point is, man, I'm just pointing out the fact that the Democrat Party is falling apart. As you can see, it's imploding right in front of your eyes. I mean, people are leaving rats are leaving the sinking ship, as they say. But I want y'all to peep this next one out real quick.
AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys continuing to rock with me. I think that the left is getting desperate. This is my theory. I think they're getting desperate. Some of you may not be familiar, but I dropped a story yesterday right after it happened on this channel, and I spoke about the second assassination attempt at Donald Trump. Now, obviously, this is unprecedented because we've never seen this happen in history. We've never seen somebody be so under attack, a presidential candidate, a former president, who, by the way, they absolutely denied him Secret Service enhanced security prior to his first assassination attempt. Now, I wasn't satisfied with the
Yep, that's why I say the Secret Service is, man, they're all in on it, man. And you can't rule out the Secret Service. Now, am I saying every Secret Service person is a bad person? Not at all, but come on, man. I mean, to allow somebody to get that close to a person and allow that person to even be able to draw down and pull out a gun and do what he do, lets me know that yes, it's an inside job and the Secret Service is in on it.
explanations that they gave me, and that it was just a lapse. So it's just a lapse in judgment. So you just so happen to have a lapse in judgment with an unsecured area in the wide open that even the people were able to notice that it was unsecured. And your explanation is just that the CIA had a lapse in judgment. I don't know if you guys have ever been to an event, a rally, a situation or something where a president or a candidate or anything is running for president and they come to your city or whatever, but you should really experience it so you can see the level of security and dedication that goes into it. It's crazy. It's insane. And so for that to have a lapse and to miss narrowly, now there's two ways that we can look at this, but to miss narrowly, you can say that he was lucky. I choose not to take that position. Or you can say that God really had a hand on him. Now, I just so happen to think it's the second. Because when you look at the odds of how things are playing out, and he even said it during the debate on the stage, he said, listen, the way in which they trying to set things up and the plans and the way they talk about me and the way that they lie about me, they keep talking about this project 2025. I don't even have nothing to do with it. I ain't even read it. I don't know nothing about it. He said that the way that they try to play me is probably the reason why that situation happened in Pennsylvania in the first place. And then you see this happen, right? Where a guy is basically able to be in the bushes with a cloak on and a gun that's sticking out, ready to fire as soon as he get on that particular hole at the Trump International Golf Course, of all places. And then he was able to get
Right, right. I mean, it just doesn't, man. It just doesn't add up, man. Doesn't add up. Now, if he was really being protected, I don't even think that guy would have even been able to get near the golf course. Let alone he wouldn't have even been he wouldn't have had even been able to get near the golf course if dude was truly and really protected Trump. But just don't add up, man. Doesn't add up. And that's why when people say, oh, it's an inside job, the Secret Service is in on it or whatever, I don't even argue. I mean, shit. I mean, what else? How different? How else could you think? There is no other way to think, you know? There is no other way to think other than, they have to be in on it. They have to be in. If they really wanted to protect Donald Trump, there is no way in the world this guy would had even been able to get that close to a golf course with a semi-automatic, with a gun. So don't add up at all, man. Doesn't add up. And Antoine is right.
away until they was able to apprehend him. This is wild. We are in 2024. This is not the 70s. This is not the 60s. This is not the 50s. To be sitting here discussing the fact that a former president and again a current presidential candidate, which we know, right? Any of us that's informed, any of us that got our head above sand, know that they've also made an attempt to influence the election. Well, why? Because first of all, as all of these charges continue to get dropped and thrown out of Fulton County, which we know that it's a fact that Bonnie Willis and Andre Dickens, the mayor of Atlanta, Fulton County District Attorney, the one that's also had her little boy toy with her when her daughter got arrested for suspended license, and he pulled up with her and they said that they was no longer in a relationship. We know that they went up to the White House and met with the vice president. That's what it says on the public records. This is not hidden. Prior to filing the charges against Trump and Fulton County, we know that Letitia James over in New York ran on the premise that she would get Trump out of office. Hillary Clinton just recently did an interview where she cried tears of joy when Trump was found liable over in New York.
Well, as you see, man, people aren't buying. Well, it ain't about buying. People are looking at this whole situation like, okay, all right, look. Obviously, it's obvious that they don't want this man in office, and as Antoine said, a lot of his charges have been thrown out. I mean, let's call it what it is, man. The charges were given because you might as well just say it was election interference, because all of a sudden he got all those charges when he announced he was running. Then all of a sudden that's when all the charges come. So that alone lets you know that is election interference right there. Couldn't charge him before he was running. No, man didn't have any charges. After he announced he was running, then that's when the charges come. I mean, it's so obvious, man. It is so obvious. And am I saying that Trump is a saint? No, but it's just it's crazy how the media loves to just lie and just gaslight you. you know, and people run with it a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of people run with it and take it as the truth, when a lot of it is lies. You can't believe anything these people tell you. You can't believe anything the mainstream media tells you, because they're going to lie to you. They're going to lie. They're going to lie. They're going to lie. Their job is to keep you from the truth, keep you from doing your own research. They don't like when you do your own research. That's why they are heavily for censorship. You know, let's just call it what it is. They're pro censorship. They want to go after every small media site, because that's where you get the real news from. You get the real news from the small media sites, you know, small bloggers. That's where you're going to get your truth. You're not going to get it from CNN. You're not going to get it from MSNBC. And, you know, you got people like me. You got people like uh, Antoine Daniels. You have people like Tariq Nasheed calling out, you know, the BS, calling out the lies. And these are the people that they want to take off the internet. These are the people that they want to censor. These are the people they want to just demonetize, you name it. And, you know, they want everybody to basically, well, it ain't basically, they want everybody to be sucked into their echo chamber. And no, that's not going down like that. You got people that are critical thinkers. You got people that's going to go out there, research stuff. You got people that are doing that. And, you know, and destroying the narrative that they want to, you know, shove down people's throat. So they gotta do whatever they can to stop that. But like I said, man, this is just going to increase his voter base. You got people fleeing the Democrat Party and saying, "Hey, yo, I'm leaving. I'm now voting for Trump. I'm now leaving the Democrats. I can't deal with them." And you notice you don't really see that on the media. A bunch of Democrats leaving the party. You don't see that. They keeping that hush hush. Oh, they keep that hush hush, man. They do not want people focusing on that. They don't want people focused on the fact that Kamala Harris is way down in the polls. She's not neck and neck. She's not winning like they want to portray. That's BS. That's a bunch of propaganda. That's a bunch of lies. But you heard Antoine Daniels. I'm gonna go into one more video, man. Then I shut it down. See what Tariq Nasheed got to say. He also kind of went in on it. All right, y'all. Let's see what Tariq Nasheed has to say. I think he's Tariq Nasheed's been going in on Kamala Harris for a while now. He was one of the few I've heard really go in on her. I mean, there's others, but he's been one of the main ones to start it, to kick it all off, man. But let's see what Brother Tariq has to say.
Very desperate. That's why they're up here crying and crashing out. They're getting desperate. The Angela Rise out here are desperate because their bread and butter is telling the white people at the DNC that, hey, we know these Negroes, we can relate to them. We're going to be your black outreach, and that's their job. That's the only job. That's the only significance they have, is if they go out here and finesse the black public. And when it doesn't work, they lose their jobs. You understand? When that don't work, the whites at the DNC is like, okay, what the hell do I need you for? What
what do I need you?
Yep, that's true. That is true. That is 100% facts. If these black Democrat shills can't convince black people like myself, they definitely can't convince me. They can't convince somebody like Tariq Nasheed. Can't convince somebody like Jason Black. Can't convince somebody like Antoine Daniels and a whole host of others. I can keep going on. Philip Scott. I can keep. The list goes on and on. If they can't convince people like that and other black people that feel the same way that these brothers feel, the brothers that I just named, if they can't convince those black people, because you got a lot of black people that agree with the brothers that I just named about how the Democrats have just totally disrespected black people, take black people's basically take black people's vote for granted, don't do anything, do everything for everybody, do stuff for everybody else but not black people. And more black people are seeing that, and they can't convince, you know, they can't convince a lot of black people, then they lose their job. Yeah. Start to lose their job. It's like, what I need you for? And it's getting harder and harder and harder for these black Democrat shills to convince the black public, because the black public is waking up more and more and more and more. The Democrats have lost a lot of black support, larger than any election. They've lost a lot of black support. So that's one of the main reasons why they're so into open borders and trying to bring people in here illegally, because they know they are losing the black vote. The black vote is becoming weaker and weaker and weaker, and that's a good thing. So Tariq Nasheed dropping heat, man.
So they start laying them off. They immediately start laying them off. Yeah, they're trying to say black Trump support is fake. No, it's not. A lot of black people are looking at Trump. They're like, well, hell, if we're going to get some racism, why are we going to get racism with a brown face? Because you're going to get racism with Kamala, her running around with her black scent. That's not fooling nobody. You're just getting racism with a brown face. And then they use her brownness as a cloak for the racism. Hey, I'm not racist. It's not racist. Kamala Harris is brown like you. No. Just because she has a little melanin and she runs around here with her black scent, no, it's not the same. No. It is not the same, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of Kamala's black scent, she was at some show, some ceremony, and she's throwing her little black scent out there again. Hold on.
And let me just say about Joe Biden, I have. Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters, and my sorors.
Oh man, the woman is such a fraud, man. Oh my goodness. The woman is probably one of the biggest frauds. Obama was a fraud too, but Obama ain't got nothing on Kamala, man. Kamala is the biggest fraud running to this day. And I don't see how some people can't see that, man. I mean, really? You can't see the phoniness, the fakeness, and the woman is just beyond evil, man. Pure evil.
And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
See, yeah, that's what those Boule Divine Nines. See, they want clout for the HBCUs, and they want clout for their little fraternities and sororities. See, her getting in office, that's a win for that group. That's not a win for all of us. All that cackling and gaggling and all my sorrow, all my divine, all my HBCU. This woman, man, give me a knife. Ugh. All that cackling. Fake his damn hair. All my brothers and sisters. Please. Go lay your ass down with Doug. Go in there and make you some quiche for Doug and shut your giggling, cackling ass up.
Oh man, Tariq going in, man. Oh man.
All that blackety black stuff and you laying up with Plantation Master Doug. You in there bed wenching it up. You ain't fooling nobody. But again, if they don't get the black vote, all of these Democratic shills, they're out. They're desperate. They're going to be out of a damn job. That's why they crying. Well, how come y'all ain't... How come we can't reach y'all? How come this black outreach ain't working?
All right, man. Y'all got my point. I'm sure most of y'all get the point, man. The Democrats are in big trouble, man. So they, like I said, they have no choice but to assassinate and get rid of Trump. And if you think this is you think these are the only two assassination attempts that's gonna be carried out, then you're highly delusional, man. They're gonna keep going and going and going and going and going until they finally reach their goal, until they finally take dude out, eliminate dude, which is their goal, because they fake charges and fake court sessions didn't work. All of that got thrown out. You know what I'm saying? They tried everything. They tried to put them in prison. That didn't work. All that, by the way, all of that is election interference. All of that was going on, because then none of this happened until after he announced he was running. So all the things that they've tried to do didn't work. So now they left with what? I think we already know what I'm gonna say. Assassination. So shit, if I was Trump, man, I would lay low, get me a mic, a camera, and just talk to the people like that, man. You know, and these people mean business, man. These, like I said before, these are the same people that took out Malcolm X. These are the same people that took out King. These are the same people that took out JFK. What's his name? John Lennon. Bob Marley. A lot of people say he was assassinated, which I believe he was. And these are the same people that go around and carry out assassinations around the whole globe, not just here, in the United States. They carry out assassinations in other countries as well. So you're dealing with some very, very, very dangerous people, man, that have a history of doing this and eliminating people that don't fall in line or don't want to carry out their agenda. So let me know what y'all think, man. Hit the like button. We're living in some crazy times. Keep your head on the swivel. Stay strong, man. Stay strong. Peace and love. Love y'all. I'm out.